Hello everybody, this is Midnight Mira. Welcome back to my scary stories. The story for tonight is Backrooms 11. The Comic Shop Prophet. A story compiled from the journal of Mr. Giles. Ethan Reyes here. This is not just a story, it's a doorway. A glimpse into something far more terrifying than you realize. Listen closely, because once you start, you won't be able to stop. This story comes from Mr. Giles' journal, his words, his experiences, and the truth as he saw it. I've gathered what I could, pieced together the fragments, and now, I share them with you. Opening scene, the illusion breaks. The city was too perfect. Too clean. I had known for a while that something wasn't right, but I had convinced myself, just for a moment, that maybe I was imagining things. Maybe this was real. Maybe I had actually escaped. If you're enjoying this story, know that I spend long nights crafting these videos just for you. Let me earn your subscription tonight. Hit that button and ring the bell. I'll be ringing it too whenever a new nightmare unfolds. Now, let's get back to the story. But illusions don't last forever. The moment the hooded figure stepped into my shop, I knew. The world outside wasn't real. This wasn't Earth. This was still the Backrooms. And I was still trapped. The figure stood in the doorway, their silhouette framed against the artificial light of the city beyond. They took a slow step forward, pulling back their hood, and the moment I saw their face, my breath caught in my throat. It wasn't just the resemblance. It was the smirk, the same damn smirk I used to have before I knew what fear really was. "You're late," he said, voice carrying the weight of exhaustion. I narrowed my eyes. Late for what? He exhaled, running a hand through his dark, unkempt hair. "For your own damn war," he said. "Thought you'd never wake up." "Who is Des Giles?" His name was Desmond Des Giles. A direct descendant of mine. Once the owner of my old comic shop. Discovered my hidden notes, sketches, and unfinished stories. Realized that I had unknowingly been editing reality through my comics. Learned to control this power, but only within the Backrooms domain. I thought it was nonsense at first, Des admitted, stepping deeper into the shop. Crazy old stories in a dead man's collection. But the more I read, the more I saw things change. I stayed quiet, letting him talk. The Backrooms is a shifting mess of reality, right? It doesn't follow normal rules. So I started testing things. I rewrote parts of the layout, small stuff, barely noticeable. He smirked. Turns out I was right. If you know how, you can edit the Backrooms. You can rewrite certain thresholds. You can change exits, open doors that weren't there, close pathways before something gets through. I felt my pulse quicken. "You were rewriting the Backrooms?" I asked. "Not exactly," he corrected. "I was editing within the threshold. That's the trick. The Backrooms lets you play with reality, but only inside its domain. You step outside of it?" He shook his head. "It's useless. The Wraith's dominion, but not over everything. The Wraith ruled Earth now. It controlled the cities, the governments, the people. It reshaped reality into a perfect, artificial world, one where nobody even realized they were prisoners. Mind control, altered memories, rewritten history. But there was one thing it couldn't control. The Backrooms. It had tried. Tried to map them, track them, invade them. But the Backrooms weren't like a normal place. They didn't stay still. One moment, they were hidden in the walls of an abandoned subway station. The next, they were stretching through an entire office building, swallowing its workers in an instant. The backrooms moved, shifted, changed, always just out of the wraith's grasp. And for now, they were protecting the last resistance. The Peekaboo Rebellion. Des had figured out how to weaponize the backrooms. Every time the wraith's forces found an entrance, he changed the layout. He moved doorways, erased hallways, collapsed levels before the wraith could map them. He turned the backrooms into a maze that only he could navigate. And in doing so, he gave the last survivors a fighting chance. I ran a hand down my face, piecing it together. You've been running a war from inside the backrooms this whole time, and now you're a part of it too. There's no turning back now, not when the truth is staring right at you, I muttered. And winning, Des said with a smirk. Final action, the rewrite begins. Before Des could reply, the walls lurched violently. The air twisted, turning heavy and oppressive. A black rift tore through the space behind us, and a figure stepped through. Tall. Cloaked in writhing shadows. Eyes that burned like dying embers. The wraith had found us. A deep, guttural voice echoed through the air. You cannot break what you do not understand. The ground beneath us cracked, and tendrils of black energy lashed out. Des was already moving, flipping through a worn, half-burnt comic, muttering under his breath. The space around us flickered, walls shifting like liquid. I dropped my comic. Not in fear. In control. I turned the page. The next panel had already started drawing itself. The wraith lunged. Des tore a page from his book and slammed it onto the ground. Everything inverted. The doorway didn't pull us in, it exploded outward. For the first time, the backrooms didn't shift to escape. It fought back. Light tore through the wraith, ink ripping through its form like shattered glass. Des yelled something, scribbling midair, rewriting space itself. The war wasn't over. But before I go on, let me ask you something. Have you truly seen the extent of what lurks in the shadows? If you think this is terrifying, you should see what else is out there. There's more. Much more. That's it for this episode. Thanks for joining me on this eerie journey. Don't stray too far, more terrifying stories are just around the corner. Are you brave enough to step deeper into the unknown? Smash that like button if you crave spine-chilling horror, subscribe for more haunting tales, and comment below, would you take the comic book, or face the wrath of the clown? And don't forget to ring the bell for notifications, I'll be ringing it too when a new nightmare arrives. But if you truly love horror that lingers long after the lights go out, my books are waiting for you on Amazon. Available in ebook, paperback, and hardcover, they bring terror straight to your hands. From the twisted mind of Mr. Lights Out, a master of horror fantasy, an expat, and a US veteran. Writing is my self-cure for minor PTSD, but the nightmares never really end. Dare to read. The Aria the Aswang Slayer series, where creatures of the night are real, and they are hungry. The Curse of the Mananangle, a tale that seeps into your mind, and never lets go. The stories are waiting. The shadows are watching. The link is in the description below. Thanks to Lara's Horror Sound on YouTube for the chilling soundtrack. But beware, some tales refuse to stay on their pages. Thanks for watching, horror fans. Stay out of the backrooms, and whatever you do, don't stop reading.